I love homebrewing.
But my homebrewing process has gotten more complicated. The equipment got more expensive, and I reached a point where the hobby was no longer fun. So I'm dusting off my old equipment and heading out into the middle of nowhere to reconnect with the hobby I love.
I remember the first time I actually had homebrew. I had homebrew because my friend, he got a Mr. Beer kit for Christmas. And I remember brewing that beer, and I remember putting it in swing top bottles, blue swing top bottles. When I came back, after it was all done carbonating, we drank the beer for the first time. And believe it or not, it was terrible. But from that moment forward, I was hooked. What we're brewing today is an American Amber Ale, which is the first brew that I ever brewed on the Mr. Beer kit. Okay, I might be lying. I think the first beer that I made on the Mr. Beer kit was a pale ale, but definitely the second brew that I ever made was an American Amber Ale. And that was made on actual home brewing equipment that I bought from a local homebrew shop. And I believe that the American Amber Ale is the perfect beer to start homebrewing with because it's malty, it's a little bit hoppy, it's really hard to f up, and you can drink a lot of it because it's only 5%. So personally, that's why we're doing it. We're making an Amber Ale as an homage to the second beer that I've ever made. It's kind of a sloppy Vorlauf, but I'm gonna try to be as gentle as I can to not disturb the grain bed. So for the recipe, I did about 8 pounds of Maris Otter as my base grain, a pound of Crystal 60, and the secret ingredient, about 3 ounces, so a little kiss of pale chocolate malt. Every time I've made an amber ale and I add that little bit of chocolate malt, even just the tad amount, I feel like it always comes out so much better. I can tell that we have conversion. The reason I can tell is because the bubbles in the mash have like a slickness to it and like a little rainbow color. And that tells me there's sugar. But since I don't have a refractometer, we just have to trust our guts. We don't even have internet out here. There's no signal. I'm thinking we have successfully Vorlaufed. All right, so what does that mean? Well, it means that we're gonna start transferring to this kettle. I gotta keep an eye on it because towards the end, it's gonna wanna come out. All the grain's gonna wanna come out. We're gonna do a batch sparge. And you know what? I started doing batch sparges with all grain, and I like it. haven't done this style of brewing in probably 6 years. You know, everything I do now is advanced, it's electric, it's in a conditioned garage. You know, every variable fully controlled, water chemistry, the whole thing. And it's been so long since I've just come out here and been like, whatever, let's make a beer, let's go, you know. But I'm like, I've never done it outside of my home. Never gone out in the middle of friggin' Colorado. I've never done this. So I didn't know what was gonna happen. And let me tell you something. You should do this. It's incredible. I love this hobby. I do. I do. It's not a bit. It's true. Fuck, you got me. You got me. All right.
As I finish up this brew day, I was left with a renewed feeling of enthusiasm. One that I haven't felt in a long time. And that feeling followed me home, where I pitched the yeast and watched it patiently as they turned the wort into beer. This was just the thing that I needed to remember how fun homebrewing can be. But it's not over. There's still one more thing to make this adventure complete.
This is the best part. We got a fire going. We got a cool autumn night. I got some homebrew here. So cheers. You know what? That ain't terrible. Cheers.